Oh, we both got superhero T-shirts on. Look at that. Deadpool in the building, aka the Dre Max Show. Wearing the Static Virgil Hawkins. Did you guys know his name is not Static Shock? The TV show was called Static Shock, but it's called Static.
Yeah, that is true. I did. I called him Static Shock, and it's really static, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Okay.
We have assembled to view Meagan Good. So this is an ET interview for Meagan Good, being interviewed by a guy named Kevin Fraizer. We've seen him in moments and whatnot. What's your thoughts on Kevin Fraizer, actually, before we even get into it? What do you think about him?
Well, I've seen him on ET plenty of times, but I mean, just in the last 24 hours, this guy has gained way more respect than anybody ever in this entertainment industry for what he did in this interview. This interview was awesome. I appreciate him because that was awesome.
Yeah, he put on a cape during this interview.
He did.
To be nominated, like my heart's so full just to be seen. And this is my second NAACP nomination. The first one I was 17, and I'll be 43 this year.
What do you think she was nominated for?
Oh, Eve's Bayou.
What was it?
Eve's? Was it Eve's Bayou?
Oh, maybe it was.
She was born in 81 because she's a year younger than me. So
she's
that would have been 98.
Let's look at her filmography from 98. Eve's Bayou. Yeah, you're right. It would have had to have been Eve's Bayou, which was a 97 film. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to say I was in love with Meagan before Jonathan, but I'm just saying, Jonathan, you lucky son of a gun, you.
NAACP Image Awards for Outstanding Youth Actor / Actress, Eve's Bayou. She was only nominated, and she didn't win.
Come on.
So just to feel seen and to feel loved on, and to be here with us, and then also for a character I love so much that is truly such a big part of me. So
that's what I say. Harlem is such a fun show, but it feels so authentic to us.
Yes.
How important is that you get to do a show where you can be us?
So that's like the third time they've said the word us. How you feel about us?
First of all, Kevin is happy to be able to be like, I'm around black people. This is about us. I'm about to bring us into it. Blackity black. He wanted to put up his black fist and be like, I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blinkety black, and I'm black. I love this because it shows his enthusiasm about celebrating black people, black culture at the NAACP Awards. That's an awesome feeling, probably for him. And to see someone that grew up in this industry, even at 43, still getting those accolades is amazing. Probably was amazing for him. So I like that. I like that he kept saying us, kept putting it back to us. So
I didn't know how much I liked the word us until I started watching more of Meagan Good using the word. It takes me down to, remember Ava DuVernay's Netflix series, When They See Us? I think that may have been the first exposure to this word being used in that way. And it really cuts through a lot of BS, and it gets to the meaning. It has like a community. I sound stupid. Let me communitorial is what I wanted to say. It has a communitorial,
context to it. Yeah.
Context to it, but it's communitorial a word. If it is, then I'm using the right word. It has a communitorial aspect to it.
Because they're not using trigger words. They're not saying people of color, because that could be anybody. They're saying, damn well when I say us, you know who I'm talking about. So it cuts through the bull crap, and it gets to who you're talking to. You're talking to the African Americans that are in this country, you know what I mean, that look like us, the melanated people. What you think about us. And I love the way that he keeps framing that, and it's us, and it's a celebration of us, and getting her to be able to appreciate the throughout the trials and tribulations of Black Americans, and look at what we're still doing and how we're still striving. So I love that, and how we're thriving also.
She makes me want to watch Harlem. I've never seen it. Is it like Girlfriends?
For what I understood, it was like a Sex in the City type, but that's a question I'm gonna ask Mika G on Blurred AF tonight, because I think she's probably watched it. So
And if we schedule this right, by the time this video is posted, Dre is live right now. So, change the channel.
It's everything. Because, well, first of all, this is probably my favorite character that I've ever played thus far. And it is a show where it's, you know, for Black women, and it's authentically everything of who we are.
You notice that little lady in the back there in the blue?
With the bug eyes.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my God, there's so many of them.
And there's a reason why we're not clicking on her for no reason. We got a hunch of what's supposed to come.
What we go through, what we experience, everybody can see themselves in one of these characters. So to be able to play a character that's so quirky and offbeat and goofy and nerdy as me, but
Oh, you're talking about Jerome Pavante?
Yeah, I thought it was Jeremy Prevey.
I believe that's Jerome Pavante.
Pavante. Does that how you pronounce it? I didn't know that.
No, okay, so the joke is his name is Jeremy Piven, and I'm just.
Oh, you okay? Oh,
yeah.
I love how you went back there and pointed like, you know, I'm about to be on DT, right?
can still be sexy and still can be, you know, an intellectual and still can be all these things, which we are because we're, you know, we're not monolithic. So it's just, yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that. How good a time is this in your life? You're happy. You seem so happy.
I am happy. You know, it's really crazy. I mean, so much is going on. These past 2 years have been a crazy 2 years for me. But
okay, salute to her, because the last 2 years have been crazy and we don't get that from her. She keeps things under wraps, and she's not contributing to the chaotic stuff. Now, the way that Kevin asked was like, yo, you can go as deep as you want with your answer.
He didn't probe, which I liked. He did, which what people got pissed off about Shannon Sharp. He asked the question and allowed her to speak. Now, whatever she speaks to was on her, but he allowed her to speak. That's amazing. That's amazing right there. That's real journalism, because you're getting at the heart of what somebody actually feels. So you're getting a real authentic feeling, not just a canned response message. I love that.
I'm happier than I've been in a long time, even with all the crazy. And and then God's just doing incredible things. And so trusting God on the journey. And I'm like, all right, Lord, what's next?
When I saw you and I hugged you, I could tell you were happy. You were happy.
Yeah.
Look how he's leaning back. He slid in the function. That dude's awesome. I don't care what you say. He's cooler than what he's way cooler than what people give him credit for. Because you don't lean back, you just slide up. That dude is awesome.
Even my girl in the blue couldn't contain herself. She's loving it.
Look at her eyes. I mean, but
let's keep an eye on her.
How you doing?
Good to be seen, man.
How cool is it to be here with Meagan tonight in the Image Awards? That's for us.
It's incredible. It feels great.
She got meaner and meaner as the conversation went on. Like her face slowly dipped and got madder and madder.
Yep. And I could see her go, no, there's no way that you're about to interview him. Like she's like looking down on her phone on her device, and you can't tell me that she's not calling back at headquarters and going, guys, we have a breach in Sector 17 North, code black. I don't know, maybe I'm imagining that. Everyone is entitled to an opinion. I talked to a couple people who said I'm reaching, but
I mean, the way that she looked, because at first, you know, it was all joy. Even when he came over, because if you go back, when he came over, she's still smiling, you know, at them like, okay, she is interviewing them. So now she's listening. What she's doing is she looked like she's taking notes. You see her dip her to her phone. Now she could be ordering. She could be, you know, sending the playback to Emperor Palpatine. You know, to execute Order 66. But it looked like she was taking notes. So she looked like she was like, okay, okay. Megan's there. Jonathan is there. What are we going to say about Jonathan? Let me go ahead and take these notes real quick. Domestic violence. Well, no, I can't write that. I can't put that. I can't put that.
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what prompted this article right below, written by Hope Slop. Majors was found guilty. Is
that Hope? Is that Hope?
Is she Hope? No, she probably is not Hope. Let me click on the. Does that woman look like Hope? You see?
That's not Hope.
That didn't look like her.
No.
But she's on the Barbie set, so you know that's a good time.
That's awesome. I mean, it's a fun movie. Pink. You know, dance.
You know, they ran out of pink during the production of that. They had to find paint from all over.
I could believe that. There was a lot of pink in that movie.
Thank God for editing. And I'd have to wait for this ad to play all over again.
Good a time is this in your life? You're happy. You seem so happy.
I am happy.
She was not paying
It's really
attention to
crazy. I
her
mean, so my
until
best friend died on the
Jonathan
journey.
came over. Think about that for a second. She's texting an insider or somebody saying Jonathan is here. He's being interviewed by ET. Because the whole, if you look, she looks like an intern to me. She looks like an intern or somebody that works with ET directly. If you notice, because even when she got in the frame, somebody told her, hey, get out of here. And she kind of moved to the left. But she's next to the ET cast. So she works for ET. She went and texted somebody. She was looking down at her phone, looking back up, looking down at her phone, looking back up. She's texting somebody when Jonathan is talking. Now check out her pot. You see, he's looking, look at, wait a minute. He is interviewing him. Let me get down.
Is he about to give the microphone to Jonathan? No, he did not.
Look, she's looking like, what is going on?
Let's go into the.
Yeah, she wasn't as attentive to him prior to. That's what I was looking at. She was nowhere close as attentive as she was prior to him coming over there.
Let's listen in to the Jonathan Majors part. I'll try not to stop as much because it's probably not an enjoyable listening experience when we keep cutting in.
Yeah.
Say hello. Say hello. Jonathan, how you doing?
Good to be seen, man.
How cool is it to be here
I
with
love that answer.
Meagan tonight in the Image Awards? That's for us.
It's incredible. It feels great. I love everything she does, and I'm glad she's being acknowledged today, by us. So, amen.
What is it meant to have her there on your arm? Because she loves you.
You want me to cry? You want me to cry? Nah, man, love is beautiful. Support.
You got lost in her eyes.
Accountability.
He did.
Who wouldn't? Someone to talk to and chat with and get better with, and for. So, God is good.
He's dressed pretty nicely too.
Yeah, they were talking about his shoes was too big. I'm like,
yeah, the red shoes.
Stupid. It's stupid. Fantasia was looking amazing though. Because I'm not gonna lie.
Do you know Fantasia has a last name?
Yeah, I don't care. I just she'd be, if I was married to Fantasia, she'd be Fantasia every day. She'd be like, do you know I now have your last name? I don't care. You're Fantasia.
Say your point. I'm not gonna lie.
So what I liked is that he said is glad to be seen, which was a excellent answer, because to me, so many was trying to use the situation with the Jabari tribe to take him down. So to say that I could be seen right now is amazing. Is amazing. They came from the mountains. So to be here, I know you're gonna clip. We have watched from the mountains.
We have watched and listened from the mountains.
So to be seen is an excellent answer, because this is his, remember, now he's starting to make appearances at bigger events with her. So I said this on my video today that number one, that's good PR. And what I mean by good PR is that you got this couple out and about being normal. You know what I'm saying? Googly-eyed, all of that stuff. That's good PR. For one, you start to despair the narrative of the misdemeanor, reckless assault, and violation ticket of harassment. You're like, how is this guy is doing this when this woman who has been in the industry for years is totally in love with him? So it has to be something. Number two, you're getting to hear him talk more. And again, if he was blackballed out of Hollywood, if he was totally kicked out, he wouldn't have been at Africa talking, and he wouldn't have been here at the NAACP Image Awards talking. It would have been done. So I like this, and this is telling me they're rebuilding his career. This is what this is telling me right now.
It's making you see how worthless Rebecca Rubin, Tatiana Siegel, Cheyenne Whitetree are at creating narratives.
Exactly. And that's something that that I do like, because you can say, well, if Jonathan's PR team left him, but Meagan has a PR team. And what Megan has been good at, has been great at, even when she was with Devon Franklin, even after their divorce, is keeping that stuff after wraps. Even though Devon Franklin left her, he's talked about it in one
Oh,
of
he
his
hasn't?
sermons.
He's talked
Uh,
about it?
he's talked about it in one of his sermons. He didn't
I'm not a
mention
fan of
her.
that.
He didn't mention her name. He basically said, he talked about it. He was like, I was trying to fit someone that wasn't from here into into this culture, to Christianity. Like, I'm trying to fit what he said, a square peg
Square
into a
peg in a
round
round
hole.
hole.
Yeah, I'm trying to change someone. And a lot of people who were clamoring on my channel, she needs to get back with Devon Franklin. He did not. He was trying to change her and into whatever they do in Christianity. And even though she loved God, you can't change who I am. I could be the author of that. So for him to allow her to, for them to flourish, for being who he is, and she's being who she is, and their PR team, like, hey, get out more, go hang out. TMZ already seen him out back in April and last May, going to Paris and going to New York and
Morocco.
in Morocco and all these other places. So now we get to talk. Now show how much you're in love, and this or the other. Your PR team is going to tell you that. It's not that's not the facade. That's what PR teams do. They're public relations to get your image out, to say, hey, when you're out there, show a little bit more of this and show a little. They're giving you suggestions. I don't mean you have to do it, but they're going to give you those suggestions so that you can look the best. You know what I mean? But naturally, you can tell all of this is natural. Kevin Fraizer is not a part of Meagan Good's PR team. They didn't say, hey, go get Jonathan. He chose to get Jonathan, to allow Jonathan to speak, to allow Jonathan to be himself and not be scrutiny. Hey, well, what about your court case on April the 8th? Are they going to throw out your case on April the 1st? Had nothing to do with that. How are you feeling, brother? And I like that. That's good. We're starting to get more of that.
He did do something, though, where he said it's good that you guys are in love, right? I'm Meagan Good never said I'm in love with Jonathan. We've heard Jonathan on ABC says, like, I think I found her. And then Lindsay Davis was like, the one? And he's like, yes, the one. And then in the interview we saw like a week ago when they were at the luncheon for the African American Film Critics Association, that I'm in love. And then he's like, that's my answer. That's my answer. Because Megan's like, I don't know. I guess Megan doesn't really want to have that out there. They're really digging. They're trying to get Megan to say the L word.
I mean, but what has to be said can be shown. So even though she's not saying she's not in love,
Look at that eye.
look at her face. She is all in this man's face. Even though that they had I know everybody scrutinized the awkward kiss. You know what I mean? Because I guess, I don't know. It's almost like she's a little reserved, and she has a right to be reserved. She went through a divorce that was still public, even though she didn't want it to be public. Everybody talked about it. And then she gets with Jonathan Majors in the midst of one of the silliest court cases. I'm tired of arguing with people that nobody goes to jail over misdemeanors. You know what I mean? So it's the silliest thing that you ever heard, but still, she's fighting in the midst of this. You know what I mean? So people forget that she's a human being too. But what about what she's feeling? Nobody's really taking into consideration. Dang, Megan is getting scrutinized for being in love with somebody. You know what I'm saying? And then, the person who's scrutinizing her, they have a problem with the dude at Kenny Shoes. You know what I'm saying? Every day, not being able to pay the rent. So, it's silliness. But I do like the fact she might not saying it, but her eyes are telling a whole completely different story.
The article below is actually like a positive spin done by Hope Slop. She says that Majors was found guilty unfairly because the driver didn't get to speak in English and they had to get an Urdu translator, as well as pictures of Jonathan's face being scarred that night were not admissible to the jury.
And his arm.
Guilty of harassment, which is a violation, and
violation.
Misdemeanor assault. You see the part there where it says misdemeanor assault?
Yeah, I see that. It's clear as day.
And that's what we gotta give up respect to Hope Sloop for being someone who's responsible.
Thanks, Hope.
Meagan Good is feeling happier than ever despite the, quote, crazy last 2 years she had. And it's nice that after she wrote that sentence, Hope Sloop is indicating that she just went through a divorce, which 2 years ago, and like it doesn't leave the viewers to believe that Jonathan Majors' mistress for the last 2 years was Meagan Good. So again, with the context that Hope Sloop is at, man, she's not very sloopy. She's tight.
I like the word Sloopy. I'm just gonna start saying that.
Talking with ET's Kevin Fraizer from the NAACP Image Awards on Saturday, the 42-year-old actress who was a nominee for the show Harlem did not specifically mention Jonathan, her boyfriend and boo, who she's been supporting for years, trial, but said that she couldn't feel more blessed at this moment in her life. The support and love and unity on display from our Black correspondent as well as the interviewees was motivating and inspiring. Go ahead, read this for me, Dre.
In December, Majors, 34, was found guilty of one count of misdemeanor reckless assault after he beat the initial charge of intentional assault in the second degree and one count of a violation harassment ticket in the state of New York after weeks of a long domestic violence trial with his ex Jabari tribe member Grace Jabari. He
She,
was also
yeah, she's pretty wordy when it comes to her, writing, but Hope
yeah.
Sloop does get the information in.
She got all the information in. If you're reading this, you can tell how much detail that she went into her reporting. He was also acquitted of one count of intentional assault in a misdemeanor, third degree, and one count of aggravated harassment, which is a misdemeanor ticket, also, which normally does not go to trial, which she clearly explains here. But Alvin Bragg, who was a district attorney at the time, felt it was necessary to take a misdemeanor assault charge to trial. So she's very detailed in her approach here. I love it.
Right below the picture, you can see how she starts explaining about how there were a lot more other charges that were dropped on the first day of court because
Oh, I'm glad she put that.
yeah, it's obvious. Like we all knew that the district attorney was trying to catch with a wide net to try to get as much as possible. Intentional assault and reckless assault, that was fishy.
Mm,
As Priya Chaudhry did say when she tried to appeal it, like you guys can't have two bites at the apple. He intentionally did it or he recklessly did it. Pick the one. And
mhm.
unfortunately, the jury picked one. But as she's going to try to prove, everything that you were told was that this was an intentional assault. That's what
Yes.
Stephanie or Grace Jabari was saying while she was on the stand. So don't hit him with a reckless.
Yeah, absolutely. And then on April the 1st, we'll see if the judge, who was the judge here in the Jonathan Majors case, is going to be able to just throw this conviction completely out. Because in the midst of the trial, you're trying to prove that he assaulted Grace Jabari, which we all found out that was false because even the jury said that she was not assaulted by Jonathan Majors, but a reckless assault, which basically means we don't know how you got injured, but in the midst of stealing this guy's phone, tearing his clothes, scratching his face, scratching his arm, somehow you got injured. And not the guy whose face is ripped off and skin is ripped up, and coat
And
all tore up.
spent the night at a hotel separate from
It's-
you while you were in the club dancing for money. La da dee da dee. Remember that?
Mhm.
And we heard the song and everything. And then she goes upstairs. She's texting, but not answering Jonathan downstairs at the
Mm-mm.
door.
13 minutes? Was it
Thir-
13 minutes?
Between the 911 call and her last text. So he dials 911, hey, get this woman help. She needs help because she's doing the Andy's coming from Toy Story.
Oh.
How'd I know you were gonna do that on cue? And yeah, you know the story, man, if you've been watching our channels.
But I'm so glad Hope went into so much detail on ET. She's giving her, that's what I love about this new journalism. They're giving their people so much information to be able to read and to be able to understand. Like, oh man, I really understand this. Despite the video that you see, because your eyes can be completely lying to you when you're watching a video. But if you read it in print, absolutely gives you all the detailed information that you need. I absolutely love this new journalism, man. Congratulations, Hope. I hope everything in your life happens to you and only you.
The Dre Max Show. If I planned this right, like I said, right on the side, you can see his video right now where he's live on the Blurred AF experience, chilling with Mika G, chilling with the Blues House.
Mm-hmm.